not just a hobby, it's a superpower. And today we are unlocking the minds, the moments, and the magic behind every great book on Edo Bookshelf, which is a program designed to showcase the importance and productivity of reading culture at all levels. Because when we read, we don't just absorb facts, we build empathy, strengthen focus, and expand our mental maps. Reading connected to the world we have never seen and to part of ourselves we have never met. Edo Bookshelf, raising and projecting literary giants and informed leaders in our society. Tune in at 2:30 p.m. to 3 p.m. with Oseyande Idede and Chelsea Osho, live on EBS Television.
Good day, viewers. Welcome to the program, Edo Bookshelf, coming to you live from EBS TV. Of course, you know Edo Bookshelf is that amazing and exciting program where we promote reading culture and the excellence of books. When you see us like this right here in the studio, you know, of course, we are advocates of good reading. And we are here to promote the culture of good reading. We promote books. Well, I'm Chelsea Osho, your host, and I have with me in the studio a guest. His name is David Aigbovo. He's an educational psychologist. Good afternoon, sir.
God bless you, my sister. Thank you very much.
All right, my amazing viewers, stay tuned. Don't go away. Today's episode is going to be very, very interesting and amazing. Of course, it's an extension of the previous episode. Of course, we're actually talking about promoting reading culture using mother tongue. Of course, that's what we discussed last week. And today is that's the second episode of promoting reading culture using mother tongue. Yes, of course. The essence of mother tongue is so important. And today's subject of discourse is going to be very, very amazing because it's relative to the nativist theory. Yes, the nativist theory of in the 60s. That is the LAD theory. In case you may be wondering, what's LAD? What does she mean by LAD? L-A-D, LAD. LAD simply means language acquisition device, propounded by the American linguist. His name is Noam Chomsky. He's an American linguist. Like I said, our subject for discuss today is promoting reading culture using the mother tongue. Now, that theory, LAD, it posits that every human born into this world have the ability, the innate ability to acquire language, to be able to understand language so long that child is exposed to that language. Sir, do you agree with me on that?
Agree with
you know you're an educational psychologist.
I agree with you totally, my sister.
And I know you also love the use of mother tongue. I remember in the previous episode you told me that you use your local dialects, you use it to communicate with your children, and you've also written some books even in your local dialects. But the issue is not just only because the money is not there to continue the publication, but the question is, after publishing these books, who's going to buy them? Who's going to read them?
That is it.
So sad.
That is the problem. That is the problem we have in society today. If you look at the society, actually, if you look at this event of social media, the fact that it allows so many things about reading. People are no longer interested in textbooks. They don't want to read. Instead of going to textbooks, they go into internet and begin to browse whatever they want to do. AI is there to help them. Many other devices come on board now that have reduced reading culture seriously. And these devices, they do not give you the intense details of what you need to know. If you have read textbooks, they don't give you periphery of it, and they don't give you short
You know, you made mention to key points the other time. Was it you or did it made mention to key points?
Those ones just give you not exactly
just the surface setting, not the deep structure.
Not the details. So if you actually have time to go into textbook, you will read everything details, and eventually you get all the knowledge, all the things you need, you digest it, and eventually become your protein. That is it. But nowadays we discover that the social media have taken it on the table round that people are not that interested in reading.
And not only that, too, permit me to use the word, the Yahoo people, the Yahoo boys.
Yes.
I think they too, you know, they have this, let me call it a school, because actually it's a school. They call it HK, you know, where they recruit, you know, the young stars, you know, come and join us. See, we make it here. There's no need of going to school. Why do you need to go to school? Don't worry. It's a fast way of making money. Fast car, like Tracy Chapman said in her song. I think that also is also contributing.
It contributed a lot, because these are the set of people that will tell you that school is a scam. That say an old school. So there's no need for you to go reading or maybe studying hard or go to university.
And such
go
type
hard
of
reading.
people, sir, such type of people, sir, do you think it would be much more difficult for such persons to even promote reading culture using mother tongue?
Of course, no. In fact, it's going to be very difficult for such people now to promote reading culture because they themselves are not into it. They are not even, that's not even their primary aim. They primary to get money and to get wealth, practically shortcut. So, of course, that is what they do as far as they are concerned, as far as you can have enough money to back out, go to rock, go...
Live a luxury lifestyle.
Live a kind of luxury, and it's just a social span. If you look at them, many of them, before 3, 4, 5 years...
They don't want to pass through the four walls of the classroom.
Many of them are out of the way, out of the scene. You will see them any longer. Many of them are poor at church right today because they thought that is the best way to get money. But after they have gotten that money, the question is that, how do they spend that money? They spend in luxury. They
No
spend
plan.
it, no plan, no purpose, and no future. They just say, oh, I think many of them are miserable. That's it. So those people cannot promote reading culture because that's not their permanent end of going into that kind of will I call it business now? Will I not call Yahoo Yahoo?
All right, sir. As an educational psychologist,
Yes.
which is the best approach do you think we can revive that situation?
Thank you very
Especially
much.
those Yahoo, because
Thank
they're
you
actually
very much.
going down the drain. And the reason why I'm concerned is because of the young stars that are coming.
I'm
They'll be
telling
falling
you.
prey into their trap.
In fact, I have the opportunity to visit Zambia, and I went there for academics purpose. When I got there, I discovered that their system of education, comparatively, is quite different from that of this start of Nigeria.
The giant of Africa.
No, I'm talking about when you get there, they are still serious about reading. There is nothing like examination malpractice. In fact, if you want to do an exam, you put one table there, you will take about some distance before you see another table. It's span through the room. In fact, the question is that these people are still taking the examination very seriously as the key to success. But here in Nigeria, nothing like that. Government is not doing anything about it. Even all the kind of people, things we are talking about, are they monitored? Are they supervised? You don't even bother what our children are doing. If we go to school now, there are a lot of exam practices. People, teachers are guilty, the proprietors are guilty, and a lot of people are guilty. And so none of them are ready to read, to pass examination. I remember in our old days, before you pass the examination, this GC, I know how many times I wrote it before I passed. It's not because I was not intelligent, but because you don't have access to copy and copy. You have to read from your you have to study hard before you can pass. If that culture can be revived, can be brought back, I'm telling you, there will be sanity in the society.
I agree with you, sir. So I have one more question for you. Why is early childhood education important in developing reading habits? You remember this topic? It's
Yes.
promoting reading culture using mother tongue.
Yes.
And the way I introduced it, I talked about the nativist theory, where I said it's somehow relative to the use of mother tongue, because that theory says that it has a way whereby when a child is born, that child has that natural innate ability, that innate capacity to decipher and to produce language. So that is what I'm asking you, sir. This question: why is it early childhood education important in developing reading habits?
It's very important because at that time their brain is very, very sharp and very, very alert. When you see children are vulnerable to learning language very easily more than the adult. You see, when you look at children, they are the age they are is the age they are single, they don't have problems, they don't have something they're thinking about, they don't
There's
think
no
about
pressure
food,
up there.
they don't have burden, and all they know is just to read and read and read, and then you can develop children from that time. Especially if you look at children, for
Catch
instance.
them young.
Yes, if you look at our local language, for instance, there is no classroom. They learn this our language conventionally. No classroom. As the papa and mama, they are speaking together, and the other simply they are interacting. Before you know, you see a child pick up and begin to speak like you. You begin to wonder. Sometimes some of them will use some grand vocabulary more than yourself supposedly have taught them. The reason because the brain at that time is very, very, very sharp.
And it's quick, it's
Yes.
receptive.
I remember
There's
when
response to stimuli.
when the answer came on board earlier, that what is this answer came on board. It was my children who were not having this answer that were teaching me that carried handle this handset. Sometimes we begin to wonder what you yourself that own the handset. What you do not know, they will know it. You begin to ask who taught them, because they are vulnerable to learning. They are vulnerable to maybe Italian, I mean anything language. That is why we need to educate our children when they are very, very young. Take them to KG, from KG graduate to primary to secondary, and before you know it, we have become professors.
All right, thank you very much, sir. All right, my amazing viewers, stay tuned. We'll be right back. So, now we're going to watch a video whereby we're going to learn about the recent development whereby some of the Pidgin languages is actually diving into the English dictionary, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. Stay tuned, don't go away.
8 Nigerian words have been added to the Oxford Dictionary.
Hey, shout out to us.
Nyash.
Oh, yeah, she's finally there.
He made
Okay,
it?
yeah.
Fair. Everybody needs to know the meaning.
Respect.
Other words includes abeg.
Fair. Yeah, Abegistan. Like, yeah.
Ghana must go.
They put Ghana must go.
Yeah.
What did they define it?
A phrase with historical baggage.
You know what? Respect. Whoever put that statement there, I cut cap for you. Yeah.
Moi moi.
It's so serious.
I hope they have dodo inside there, because there are things that could have come before anything.
But I mean, plantain is already a thing.
No, plantain is already there.
Plantain is a subspecies.
Plantain is not dodo. Plantain is not dodo. Yeah, no, it's not. Just like moi moi, is there no beans? There's beans in the distance.
Beans cake.
Huh?
That's what moi moi is.
No. Stop.
Bean cake.
There's no cake
I
in
be
bean.
bean put.
I'm happy we've added moi moi because beans cake
Does not describe
does not
it.
describe moi moi. Like,
It's not beans cake.
You know the
It's not
funny,
even-
you know
it's
the
not
funny
even
thing.
taste.
People are
That's
taking
an
that name serious
oversimplification.
now. People are taking that name serious. You the big beans now. They put on for pan. And no be baked beans I have to talk about. The baked beans no be say I have to talk about baked beans. They actually the baked beans.
Welcome back to the program, Edo Bookshelf, coming to you live from EBS TV. Of course, today's subject of discuss has been promoting reading culture using mother tongue. I hope you actually had a nice time with that video, which actually showcases how some of our Pidgin English words have now been introduced into our English dictionary. I just hope one day, I don't know how possible that could be, maybe our educational psychologist here will be part of it. Because as far as I'm concerned, it's like you're becoming a lexicographist. Maybe one of these days, I don't know, maybe one of our local languages will also find a way coming into this English dictionary, or maybe there may be a separate lexicon for that. I don't know. You are an educational psychologist. What do you have to say about that?
Of course, language is dynamics, and whichever way you want to develop it is acceptable. As well as that, they can promote it.
Really?
Very, very important. Yes.
So do you even believe, do you have the belief that one day, say it's now that there's been a room for some Pidgin English words coming into the dictionary, do you believe that one day maybe some of our local dialects, our local parlance, that's the dialectal words now, the variants, can also find their way into the English dictionary? Maybe they may have a separate segment, I don't know. But do you believe it may come to pass someday?
Absolutely. If you find out, if you talk about Pidgin, you are talking about local languages. Most of our local Pidgin we are speaking today, there are many of them are all either borrow from Edo language, borrow from Yoruba, borrow from Musa. They are all mixed together, and then you see them.
You are taking me to the language tree of linguistics.
So that's it.
You are taking me to the language tree of linguistics.
There's possibility for all languages to be incorporated into the Pidgin dictionary. That will make it easier for anybody to study.
So do you know what they call spoon in Benin? Kuye.
Yeah.
What they call spoon in Benin?
Yeah.
Kuye
Yeah.
is the same thing they call spoon in Portuguese.
I would have told
But
you
the
many.
difference is that there is a phonological accent and tone.
You know-
It's called cuillere. French is cuillere. Then in the Benin word is cuillere.
Do you know
Cuillere,
how? Do you know how?
cuillere,
Do you know how it's
cuillere.
all about? Let me tell you a little short so they find out.
That's why I said
You
you,
know,
are taking
when
me to the language tree.
Yeah. When Portuguese
That's the
visited
proto-language.
Benin, when Portuguese visited Benin,
I'm aware about in the 14th century. I'm aware about that.
They brought this thing to Edo language.
Yeah.
So they were trying to pronounce it.
During the Bayesigi.
Yes. Benin people corrected it. So they always kuye. While I always say kuye. The file we used to sharpen cutlass is called lima. They always lima. Olima. Then this basico we call today like
Linguistic relativism.
yeah, when we are talking about basico now, basico they call it keke what Benin call Ikeke. So they all borrow language from Portuguese.
And so let me tell you this. I'm not just saying this because I'm a linguist. I know so.
Okay.
I've read theories about it.
Okay.
You know, I've come to realize that all the languages of the world, even the European languages, they came from one source.
Of
That's
course.
the Latin. That's what I made mention to the language tree. That's the Proto. French, Italian, Spanish, you know, German, they all have their level of relatedness and they also have their level of differences.
Of course, that's
But
right.
out of the relatedness in some areas is more than that of the differences.
Yes.
Like now, if you want to say in English, you want to describe a paper, maybe written with words, you say this is a document. English is document. French, document. In Italian, documento. Spanish, documento. They draw it, you know, there's this,
Can you imagine that?
that's phonological
Yes.
and drop in,
Yes.
and with the accent.
Okay.
So this relatedness that we are talking about, it actually comes from that mother tree.
Of course.
So I agree with you. All languages of the world have one way or the other, they are interconnected.
Yes, there's one way or the other they are connected. That is so. Even within the local level, like that.
Sure,
Ghana,
sure.
you look at other like Ishan, like
The relatedness
they are-
between Ishan and Benin is
Yeah,
the same relatedness between French and Italian.
Italians.
And some parts of Italian and French too.
That is it. That is
God
it.
is wonderful.
Thank you.
All right, my amazing viewers, before we draw the curtains close in today's episode, promoting reading culture using mother tongue. How often do you use mother tongue to promote reading culture? You're a parent, you're a teacher, you're an uncle, you're an auntie. If you've not been doing that, I urge you to do that today. And like I said before I draw the curtain close, I want to hear from my guests in the house. What's your parting words?
My party was is to make sure that actually all of us go back to our local languages. All of us.
I can see you're a strong
Yes,
advocate
yes,
of mother
I'm a
tongue.
strong advocate of those of you who think when you are speaking English, you are doing yourself good. Please go back to your Edo language. Be speaking Edo to your children. Bring them up. Give them Edo names. Promote them. Buy them books that will help them in Edo language. Of course, that one will help them better. Because somebody was telling me that the good interpreter of Benin Edo language, he will also be a good interpreter of English language. That was somebody.
Sir, that is bi-conceptual competence.
Yes.
Not just mono-competence.
Hello.
It's a bi-conceptual competence.
Thank
All
you.
right, viewers, I think I am 85% in consonance with what my guests are saying. You know, you've been having that bi-conceptual competence and ability to use two languages at the same time. I am Chelsea Osho. I've been your host on the program, Edo Bookshelf. I'll see you again in 7 days' time, God's willing. Keep reading. Don't stop reading. The more you read, the more you learn. If you stop reading, you stop thinking, you start thinking. Knowledge is power.
Yeah, man.
Thank you for joining
Thank
us
you very
today.
much.
Have a good time.
Thank you very much.
Reading is not just a hobby, it's a superpower. And today we are unlocking the minds, the moments, and the magic behind every great book on Edo Bookshelf, which is a program designed to showcase the importance and productivity of reading culture at all levels. Because when we read, we don't just absorb facts, we build empathy, strengthen focus, and expand our mental maps. Reading connected to the world we have never seen and to part of ourselves we have never met. Edo Bookshelf, raising and projecting literary giants and informed leaders in our society. Tune in at 2:30 p.m. to 3 p.m. with